What's up, guys? Today's video is about how to beat the nerves, how to turn a nervous swing into a confident swing. This is the second video I did with Tori Totlis with our series of videos. I'm really excited to show you this video today. And if you haven't done so already, please click on the subscribe button below and the bell button next to it if you want to get future notifications about videos that I'll have coming out. And if you like the video, please go ahead and click on that like button. So with no further ado, here's the video.
All right, so today we're going to go over being nervous, beating those nerves. I mean, we've all been on the first tee. I don't care what first tee it is. You get nervous. And the one thing I want to say about the first tee shot, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Right.
Anyways, Justin, tell us how we can beat those nerves and have a more confident swing.
Sure. Yeah, I got 3 ideas for you that I want to kind of share with you here. The first one is kind of just an overall general mental idea. So you usually have a range of a score that you typically, you shoot in. Let's just say you're an 80s player and you shoot anywhere between as low as 80 or as high as 90.
Yep.
My idea here is to try to get you to think more like, what if I could shoot 75 tomorrow? So you've never really broken 80. What if I could shoot 75 tomorrow? Getting yourself kind of like, let's go for success as opposed to trying to avoid failure. Those are the 2 styles of mentality that we tend to fall into. Either scared of failure and shooting above 90 or almost kind of an overconfident trying to go for the 70s. So leading up to a tournament, and especially kind of getting your mind ready to go for kind of controlling those nerves, I highly recommend kind of practicing like you are going to shoot 75. What would a person who shoots 75 do when they're practicing and getting ready for the thing? Would a 75 player hit a chip like this? Yeah, that's how a 75 player would hit that shot.
Oh my God, with that look at the end.
Yeah, exactly
too.
right.
I love it.
You're kind of practicing getting into that mentality. You're preparing for success as opposed to preparing for failure. And that's what we naturally will do unless you consciously think more confidently. We will naturally prepare for failure. I want to do whatever it takes to not whiff my tee shot. I want to do whatever it takes to not, hit it badly today and embarrass myself out there. That's what our natural thoughts are going to be. So the more that we can think, well, what if I could shoot the best score ever during this tournament coming up? How would I be ready to do that? So getting yourself mentally ready to do that, I think would be great.
And feeding off of that too, when you're on the tee box, almost again thinking, okay, what's the perfect shot I could hit now? Where's the target? What does it look like? Focusing on that, whether instead of, I hope I don't hit it in the desert again, because that's what I always do on this hole.
Right, exactly. Controlling what you're thinking about. So another great question to ask yourself before you hit any shot, especially when you're out on the golf course, is what am I trying to do here? What do I want the ball to happen? Because we, once again, naturally will think about what we don't want the ball to happen. And when you're thinking about that, it tends to get you tightened up and you tend to fail, which is the one thing you were trying not to do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
all right, what's next?
The next thing that I wanted to talk about was more of a technique thing. So one thing that people do when they're nervous is they tend to try to guide the club quite a bit, and which means they get a lot of body into the golf swing. So they kind of try to help the ball out there and use a lot of body. So a drill that I think is a great one to kind of get you feeling what you want to do is what I like to call the feet together drill. And you're going to just swing hands and arms only, trying to feel that snap of the club without allowing your body to get in there. And by putting your feet together, it prevents you from guiding the club. So I'm going to have you do a couple of practice swings first before we hit this ball here.
So, sorry, feet together, any club really, just...
Yeah, kind of like a 7-iron or so, but feeling those hands and arms swinging and keeping that body nice and quiet. Now before we hit the ball, I'm actually going to also have you hit the tee here. So let's do a couple just trying to strike that tee. Okay, so after doing a couple of those practice swings, now we're going to go ahead and hit a tee. Feet together, just feeling the hands and arms motion and just feeling that release of that club head. Yeah, I love that motion. Oh, boom, the tee is gone. Nicely done. We'll do one more with the tee and then we'll throw a ball on top.
All right.
But the feeling that we're trying to get here is not having our body guiding it and really just fully releasing that club and getting that swish sound at the bottom to be nice and loud. More of a let go feeling and not so much of a guiding feeling.
Let go. Okay, but
so
still
feet together and just feeling that release of those hands coming through and hitting that tee. Beautiful. Nice small little draw right at your target.
Okay,
Really,
and then,
really nice.
so this would be a nice drill to do before any, round that you might.
Exactly right, yeah. We're trying to get that feeling of letting go. What a lot of people tend to do when they're nervous is they want to steer the ball.
Yeah.
So they want to try to kind of guide that ball to go straight. And actually the recipe to getting that ball to go super straight is actually letting it go. Even just on those 2 swings, which are your 2 first swings of the day,
Yeah.
just went nice and straight and nice, these little draws right at your target. And it was because your hands and arms were releasing,
Yeah.
because your body couldn't get in there to guide it. So
Oh
a
my
little
God,
feet
is that
together.
like a life lesson too? I feel like I just let go of a lot of things with that drill. All right,
awesome.
what else do you have for
Okay.
us?
So the last thing I wanted to kind of give you is more of an in-swing or in-round technique idea that you can think of when you're out there.
Okay.
The number one technique that tends to be equal to how nervous you are is your grip pressure.
Oh yeah.
Grip pressure is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're holding that club, what I like to sometimes use is kind of a 1 to 10 scale. So 1 being as light as you can possibly hold it, and 10 being as tight as you can possibly hold it. On that scale, we will usually want to be around a 4. And the funny thing is actually, if you see here, when I hold the club next to the ball, and I'm just holding the club on a scale of 1 to 10 right around a 4. And then if I just grip it really, really tight, watch what the club head does. Just keep that eyes on the club head. So I'm just going to tighten up really quick. If you notice, that club comes up into the air.
And that's when you're going to get those thin shots.
Thin shots or even top shots.
Yeah.
So just going from 4 to an 8 or a 9 tends to rise that club up and then hits those thinner, those top shots. So the more that you can kind of monitor that grip pressure throughout your round, keeping it around a 4, not even just at the address position, but also throughout the entire swing,
Yeah.
and keeping that 4 grip pressure, not tightening up as you come into the ball, will actually help you with your nerves out on the course.
I've actually, Justin has told me this before and it's helped me a ton. And it almost is like at address, I feel my grip. Like I say to myself, this is what my grip is, and I'm going to keep this grip throughout the whole thing. Like I
Right.
establish that grip, and just that has helped a ton.
And then just leading back into the first thing that we said, what does the grip pressure, where does that grip pressure actually come from? It usually comes from somebody saying, oh no, I hope I don't shoot over 90 versus I'm going to shoot
Yeah.
75,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So kind of controlling that I'm going
Mindset.
out there to play great golf. I'm not trying to not play bad golf.
Absolutely.
Super important.
Absolutely. There it is, everyone. That's your lesson for today.